Good afternoon, everyone. It is my honor and pleasure to introduce our Attorney General, Bonta. Attorney General Bonta began his career in public service as Deputy District Attorney in the City of San Francisco Attorney's Office. In 2010, he was elected to the Alameda Council and then to the State Assembly, where he served from 2012 to 2021. Governor Newsom appointed Assemblymember Bonta as the 34th Attorney General of the State of California in April of 2021, the first person of Filipino descent and the second Asian American to hold that office. Attorney General Bonta's passion and commitment to fairness and justice were instilled in him by his parents, who served at the front lines of California's farm workers' labor movement and the civil rights movement. Throughout his career, he has sought to give voice to the voiceless and bring justice to the marginalized. Attorney General Bonta has been a strong advocate for the Jewish community. He participated in a JPAC trip to Israel as Assemblymember in 2019. He has been meeting with community leaders across the state since 2007. And he sent out an ethnic studies advisory to school districts earlier in the year. On a personal note, I had the pleasure of spending time with Attorney General Bonta last spring when he visited one of Jewish Family Service LA's food pantry resource centers. He said something that has stayed with me. When asked his thoughts on addressing the growing anti-Semitism, he answered, educate. Wow. Education is key to building communities of tolerance and acceptance. It is my distinct honor to introduce California's Attorney General, Rob Bonta.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's wonderful to be here. Let me first say thank you to Eli for a very kind and generous introduction. Let me also say that besides my family and public service and soccer, one of my favorite things is eating. So I know you're eating, so please feel free to eat. I don't want to get you off your very important schedule. So continue to enjoy lunch while we spend a little time together. The work that you are doing today, it goes without saying, is critically important. It is wonderful and not surprising to see so many leaders from across California mobilize and here in Sacramento at our state's capital to push for action that you are calling for and that you deserve. So it's wonderful to be here with you in this moment. I do just want to recognize that I know this moment is full of pain and hurt and trauma. And I want you to know that I and California DOJ stand with you and support you. We will continue to work with you and for you. And thank you. And that, I believe, is an important part of the answer, the antidote of the response to the question, where do we go from here? Where we go is a place where we go together, standing side by side and supporting one another. And that's something that my parents, who were two social justice warriors, taught me and showed me the power of unity, of community, of advocacy together. That there is great power when people stand together, united, unbreakable, and with locked arms. And that's not something they just told me, they showed me. My dad was part of the civil rights movement, called to go to Selma, Alabama, to organize voting rights and civil rights. My parents worked for the United Farm Workers of America, a beautiful coalition of activists fighting for more fair treatment for those who were feeding our state and feeding our nation. And my mom is an immigrant from the Philippines, and that is the country where I was born. And when I was just 1 year, 2 months old, they asked themselves if they could raise me there and ensure that I had democracy and freedom and rights and the rule of law. And their answer, unfortunately, was no. A dictator was rising to power, martial law was around the corner, and so they brought me here, California. seeking opportunity and a better life, seeking the things here for me that they can really be taken away in the Philippines. And they also knew that the things that you want, that you hope for yourselves and your children, you need to fight for them. You need to organize for them. So I started working for the United Farmers of America. My mom continued to fight for the restoration of democracy in her home country, a place where free and fair elections were taken away and ended, where political dissidents were arrested and imprisoned, tortured, and killed. And she wanted democracy and freedom and the rule of law for her people. And so I grew up not far from here. Whenever I'm in Sacramento, it's always slightly ironic for me because my parents were state workers. I went to public schools here. I went to Bella Vista High School for anyone who's from this area. And I would look at the Capitol and wonder who's inside, who's making decisions. And during that time, I was going to protests and rallies and demonstrating with my mother, calling out for human rights abuses and demanding democracy. And it's that spirit of making sure that everyone has a safe, inclusive place to thrive and pursue their California dream, that spirit of knowing that the American dream is available to all, that spirit that no one should be targeted or attacked because of who they are, where they're from, how they look, how they pray, who they love. That's what brought me into public service. And so it's also why I have a deep respect for our partnership and what brings you here today to mobilize and to activate and to seek and secure change. It goes without saying, and there's no sugarcoating it, what we witnessed in Israel on October 7th and what we continue to witness this day is terrifying on many fronts. Images we're seeing, the stories we're hearing, devastating. The hostages and the scores of innocent children and civilians hurt and killed, unconscionable. And I don't need to tell you, it's not just something we're seeing happening far away. It's here. It's now. It's in California, a place that is not immune, unfortunately, tragically, to hate and anti-Semitism. Hate and anti-Semitism are rippling across the country and threatening people everywhere, including here in California. We've seen anti-Semitic graffiti and vandalism. We've seen a bomb threat sent to more than 100 synagogues. We've seen Jewish students attacked, harassed, intimidated on California campuses. And tragically, Paul Kessler, a 69-year-old Jewish man, was killed in Los Angeles during simultaneous pro-Israeli pro-Palestinian rallies. A chilling report from ADL Central Pacific counted more than 500 anti-Semitic incidents just in Northern California last year. A terrifying increase of more than 200% since 2022. And last November, the Los Angeles Police Department reported that just between October 6th and November 20th, anti-Semitic hate crimes were up 267% from the year before. These are statistics, but they're about people, community members, loved ones behind every one of those numbers. And the anecdotal experience, I know many people in this room, matches and maps those horrifying statistics. So let me be clear. Violence and harassment targeting religious communities and nationalities will be met with a swift response and with accountability. So my role as California's Attorney General, I have the honor and privilege of leading the largest state department of justice in the nation. Our office is monitoring threats in our state, including threats to the Jewish community. We won't tolerate violence, we won't tolerate anti-Semitism. We stand beside Californians who have faced vitriol here in California. Threats against any One of our communities are threats against all of us, and we know that we cannot accept the unacceptable. We will not accept threats against any of our communities. Diversity is core to who we are. According to California, it's both our story and our strength. It's something to be uplifted, celebrated, and protected. That's why at California Department of Justice, I formed the Racial Justice Bureau and created a hate crimes coordinator position. That's why I launched our Office of Community Awareness, Response, and Engagement, or CARE, to directly engage and respond to the needs of our communities in real time, including making DOJ's Victims Services Unit available to all those who need it. That's why I met with the listeners, members of the Jewish, Palestinian, Muslim, and Christian IDs since October, why we're continuing to issue guidance and resources to help the public and law enforcement better understand and address hate crimes in California. Why we teamed up with the U.S. Attorney for Northern California to hold a law enforcement summit on hate crime investigation and protection, to provide training and resources to support local efforts to investigate and prosecute hate crimes when they occur. Why we have our rapid response protocol and resources ready to respond to hate incidents quickly and effectively. And why we urge prosecutors statewide to establish a hate crime unit in their office with a focus on building up directly with impacted community members. It's also why we're on the ground in our communities conducting hate crime roundtables up and down the state and all of these cities, so we can learn from and collaborate with the people who see, hear, and experience those very young options. We cannot allow hate to continue. We've seen the devastation it's caused before. We cannot let history repeat itself. We have to be relentless in our efforts to shine a light on the hate and anti-Semitism running rampant in our communities. And we have to educate our children on the long history of hate and anti-Semitism that came before today. Or as a U.S. Supreme Court Justice Louis Brandeis said, sunlight is the best disinfectant. That's why I'm proud to serve as co-chair of the Governor's Council on Holocaust and Genocide Education. And why in January I issued a legal alert to California school district boards, county offices of education, and superintendents emphasizing their obligation to provide inclusive curricula, instructional materials, and books inclusive of all ethnicities, races, genders, religions, disabilities, nationalities, sexual orientations, occupations, and immigrant statuses. Critically important, given what we're facing today, was that alert also urges educators to be on the lookout for specifically anti-Semitism and to ensure they're teaching ethnic studies courses in a balanced and sensitive manner. Our schools have a duty to create an educational landscape that embraces the rich tapestry of California's diverse population and protects all of our children, our future potential. So, we know the challenges that we're facing today. Unfortunately, in the future, we'll also have challenges. But I will say, despite those challenges, I have hope. I have optimism about our future, our collective future, and our shared society. When I think of community organizations, faith leaders, district attorneys, local law enforcement, the California Civil Rights Department, and U.S. DOJ, our state legislators, and my colleagues in California DOJ, all determined to work together to get out of our silos and team up to address hate, I have hope. And I look at all of you, I have hope. Hate isn't new. Unfortunately, we've had to. But neither is coming together in solidarity to fight it, to push back against it. Together, we can and we will make our communities, state, and nation safer from hate. We have to. and we will. Because no matter where you're from or how you worship, you belong here. In California, we embrace our different identities, our different religions, and origin stories. Every person deserves dignity, deserves safety, deserves the opportunity to pursue their version of the California dream. That's what I'm fighting for as your KG, and I'm proud to do so alongside all of you. We're at our best when we work together, and we support each other, love each other, have each other's backs. I probably got that. Thank you for having me.